Grace lay weak upon the small wooden raft. Her hair flowing in the breeze sat quietly. 3 trusted mermen pulled her carefully through the narrow swamplands, their muscles straining but their faces calm. Ahead, Ash moved silently, parting reeds and branches, weaving and slicing carefully to clear the way. All around them, the swamp itself seemed alive with whispers. Frogs croaked warnings that leapt from pond to pond, passing their calls to the owls. The owls carried it upward to the crows, who scattered across the skies. The message spread like wildfire. Grace was coming through. And yet, the swamp held its breath. Every creature hushed, every ripple softened, so the queen of the Maiden Kingdom could rest in peace, carried safely home. The swamp was thick with shadows now, the air damp and heavy. Every sound mattered. Every vibration counted. High above, owls circled in silence, their golden eyes piercing through the canopy. With a single flap of wings, they shifted the path of crows, who scattered like black ribbons against the fading sun. Their cries were not random, they marked safe passages, steering danger away from the raft below. At the water's edge, the toads lent their voices, but not in simple croaks. They throbbed deep vibrations into the mud, sending silent signals rippling beneath the roots. Guiding them toward the hidden clearings, only the swamp itself remembered. Step by step, the mermaid pulled Grace forward. Her chest rose and fell softly, as though the swamp itself cradled her sleep. The trees thickened, and Ash pressed on, orchestrating the living chorus, owl to crow, toad to frog, water to reed, all moving in harmony to clear her path. At last, the air began to change. Ahead, glowing vines hung like threads of starlight, and in the distance, a great trunk shimmered faintly with its own inner fire. The giving tree. But the sun was lowering, and the last golden light was almost fading into the swamp. With a tightened grip on the small craft, they had minutes to reach it, or the chance would be lost until the next turning of the tide moon. Above, an owl gave a sharp cry, not the signal of safe passage, but a warning. The crows answered with frantic wings, scattered westward. Something was moving in the east. The toads beneath the mud pounded their warnings, vibrations pulsing like a heartbeat. THELNORA, the swamplands. That rhythm. THE predators. THE hunters. Suddenly, the reeds ahead thrashed. A slick shadow slipped beneath the water, then another. Glints of steel flashed in the fading light. Poachers. Men who had long stalked the borders of the Maiden Kingdom, waiting for weakness. Stay close. Not a sound. The mermen tightened their grip on the raft, muscles straining to keep it steady. Grace stirred. The swamp fell into a deadly silence. Every creature waited. A ripple broke across the surface, closer now. Then another. They had minutes, maybe seconds, to reach the giving tree. The hunters were closing in, and the last light of the sun was sinking fast. The raft creaked as it slid through the swamp, every sound feeling louder than it should. Grace lay motionless, still caught in the healing sleep, while her trusted mermen kept their bodies low, their movements deliberate. The trusted mermen talked low toad about land dwellers, and how they were sneaking around everywhere now. Shapes shifting through the reeds, boots thudding softly on the half-sunken trails, blades glinting in the fading light. They were organized, too organized for mere poachers. Ash raised 2 fingers, the signal to halt. The mermen stopped instantly, sinking lower into the murky water until only their eyes broke the surface. The raft drifted silently, carried by the swamp's own current. Above, the owls circled tighter, muffling their calls, while the crows darted false signals across the tree line, trying to lead the invaders astray. Frogs croaked deliberately in the opposite direction, throwing off the hunters' ears. Still, danger pressed close. Twice, a spear sliced the water just yards from the raft. The swamp itself seemed determined to protect her. The toads rumbled warnings through the mud, guiding the raft along secret paths between root and shadow. For hours it went on, dodge, drift, hide, wait. The mermaid's arms burned with the strain of holding the raft steady, but they never faltered. They were close. But Eshmul, the land dwellers hadn't given up the chase. The most dangerous stretch still lay ahead.